everybody. No, I'm not going to say that. Hey, what's up? Oh, fuck's sake. Sorry. Hi everyone, I'm Ilona Shaw and this is my sister Genevieve Nell. I decided to bring my sister on because I'm tired of doing these things alone and I need a wingman. She's going to be helping me out today. And actually I just wanted to show you guys how easy it is to contour. It really looks like I'm squint because, anyway. Contouring is really amazing. It just like enhances your natural features and it really is quite easy. So I thought I'd bring my sister along just to show you guys how easy it is to follow. I mean, she doesn't have any experience with contouring. Just for something different, I thought let's bring the wing girl with, because she is generally with me throughout life. So why not add her in my video? Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
The first thing that we are going to start with today, we've already done our eyebrows and our foundation so we can get through this video a lot quicker. I'm not going to go through the whole story, I'm just going to go through the contouring part. What you're going to need is a highlighter or a concealer, and you're going to need a darker shade for the contouring. I'm going to be using Fit Me by Maybelline, now my old faithful. I use this every single day, and I'm using it in shade 16, and then I've got the Instant Age Eraser by Maybelline as well. And these are really cool because they have like a little sponge on the end, so it's really nice to draw on and very smooth and everything else. What do you have?
I've got the NYX, but now where do you... Okay, so it's the Sculpt and Highlight. Where do you see the shades?
You want vanilla caramel. Okay, these are really cool for beginners because it's got your two shades. So if you like a medium shade, you would go for this. So, and it really does apply nicely and blends quite well. I do like NYX Cosmetics.
Okay, what brush are we going to use? Or what am I going to use? I prefer brushes to sponges.
Okay, but I'll explain that. So just don't get ahead of yourself. Okay. Anyway, okay, we're going to start with our highlights. I've been using different techniques for the last couple of years. I just find now with aging and the aging process, you really want to have as little product underneath your eyes as possible because it just creates more creasing and it enhances all those lines like around your crow's feet. So what I do is I try and apply most of the product on the insides of my eyes if I'm doing highlighting, and then the most condensed parts are on the inside, and then you just blend it out to get that highlighted cheek. The place where you can apply this on the inside corner of your eyes, of a triangular shape. That's where the most condensed area of product is going to be. I like to put a little bit around my nose so that comes into like a V point.
But even with my shaped nose, because mine is round.
I'm going to show you now how to bring that product down to sharpen your nose. You can bring it down a little bit, down your nose, and that just creates a sharper, more defined nose. So if you want to do that, just draw it straight down.
My nose is so like bulbous.
Okay, that's gonna need Jesus. Okay, then you can highlight a little bit on your forehead so that the focus is drawn to the tip of your forehead. So I've got a huge forehead, so instead of applying concealer on the entire part of your forehead, you're just applying it to a small area here so that your focus, it's almost like three-dimensional, so it makes your forehead look like it's smaller because the back part of your forehead is going to be shaded in a darker shade. Is that making sense?
Yes.
Okay, then I like to put a little bit on my chin as well. What I'm going to use is, I'm going to first use a fluffy brush, and I'm using this one from Real Techniques, and I think it's a foundation brush. It's like a kabuki brush. These are really nice to use because it blends out very quickly. That you know, we have done our eyebrows, our foundation and our eye makeup. I'm just, for the purposes of this video, doing my contouring last. I generally do my contouring first with my foundation. I'm going to just buff that out with this brush. I'm not going to go to the inside of my eyes yet because I'm going to use a blender for that. Okay, I'm just lightly going and just buffing that out. Generally, you wouldn't share the same brushes, but it's fine. She's my sister, so it's okay. What I'm going to do with the inside corners is I'm just going to take my sponge, which has already been put under a tap and squeezed out. And the reason why you do that is because you don't want your sponge to soak up all your product. So you first run it underneath the tap, squeeze out all the water, and then you can use it to stamp in your product. Just for something different today, I asked my sister to put together 3 questions that she might have. I don't know what they are, but we're gonna ask each other 3 questions while we're doing and applying our makeup.
It's not that outrageous, actually.
Yeah, well, whatever, I don't know what you've planned, but before we get onto the questions, let's quickly do step number 2. This is the contouring part, so you're going to take your darker shade. The idea with the contouring is to apply it where you would have a shadow, so it's going to, what are you looking at?
I'm watching you.
Oh, I thought maybe you were looking at grey. You can apply the dark. You can apply the dark to areas where you want to hide, or you want to chisel out some definition. I'm going to apply just a very little underneath my cheekbone. I'm not drawing the line all the way down to my lips because that will just look weird. You just need to apply a little bit halfway down your cheek at an angle. And then you're going to take that brush again and you're just going to buff it out. And I like to buff it upwards, like Warren Buffett. I'm going to take that out because that was really lame.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Tell us one interesting fact about you.
About me. I sucked my thumb until I was 14.
Sure. I honestly thought you were going to say something else. I'm so glad that's all you're going to say. Okay, so you sucked your thumb until you were 14?
Yeah.
Sure.
And I slept in mom and dad's bed until I was 10 or 11. Maybe even 12. They were warm.
I only asked you for one fact, but anyway,
Okay.
since you wanted to go there.
Just thought of like Oprah, it's okay. So is it my turn to ask you?
Before you ask me, I just need you walk through the next step. Once you've contoured your cheekbones, can you see it's just giving me a little bit more, just some structure, definition. Okay, now I want to achieve a smaller forehead. What you're going to do is you're going to just outline your forehead and you're going to blend this in towards the inside. Shoot.
What question?
Yep.
What was your first job?
Oh my god. My first job, oh my gosh. So I was still in school. My friend Kay and I used to go to this factory and take off like made in China stickers off these boxes. That's all we had to do was take off these made in China. I mean, we were young, we weren't even 16 yet. I think we were like 14. And we really needed money for the holidays, so we took this job. All we had to do was just remove made in China stickers off this phone box, and then they would put their branding on. So it might have been a little bit dodgy, but I got paid 800 rand, and back in those days, that was amazing.
800 rand for what, a day? Or the month?
The month. we only worked weekends. We used the money for definitely clothes. Okay, so once you've blended it in the forehead, I don't know if you can see, but it's just giving the illusion that my forehead is smaller than it is, I hope. What I do like to do is I put a little dot underneath my lip. Just blend that in. because this is just going to create your lip, give the illusion that it's a little bit bigger. It kind of makes it look like you've got like very pouty
shadows.
Yeah, it creates a shadow. Now what we are going to do is we are going to apply a little bit underneath our chin. You shouldn't really lift your head up, because when you put your head down, your shading might come too far forward. So you've got to kind of keep your head straight and put the darker shade underneath your chin, because that's going to create a sharper chin and just hide a little bit of the double chin, you know.
Was that like in a V or round?
I've just like
down.
put it in, you can blend it down your neck. Another question for you. What's your most embarrassing moment?
That's so weird. I was also going to ask you that. Oh, I've got so many.
Sober.
I was dating this guy, and his father was a big Formula One fan. And I said, oh wow, is the Formula One in Australia this year? Because I thought it was just
one event.
One. And it was like,
Shame, sweetheart. I'm sure you have way more embarrassing moments than that.
like what?
I don't know.
Okay, what is yours?
The one that always stands out for me is so funny because it's so embarrassing. It's one of those things you can't ever recover from. I had this friend of mine that was showing me his baby photos. And he was showing like all the baby photos, and this is me and when I was little, and I pointed out a picture and I said, oh my gosh, your dad looks just like Lionel Richie in this picture. And he goes, that's not my dad, it's my mom. What? I just called your mom Lionel Richie.
But you took it like
I
a
had no way of recovering from that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we've contoured our whole face. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to contour my nose. What I usually like to use for my nose, I don't use this for my nose because it will just be too hectic. I like to use my bronzing powder to set my face and to set the contouring, and to also contour my nose a little bit. I'm using the Benefit Cheek Leaders, and I'm using this shade over here. I'm going to contour my nose with this, and all you do is you're just going to draw a straight line down. No, not that one. Not that one.
when you're done.
Can you see how it's just giving my nose a little bit of definition? I don't like doing too like hectic contouring on the nose. It just always looks so unnatural. Okay, and then once I've done that, because you can see it's very dark, I just take my big fluffy brush and I just buff it out a little bit so that it's not so intense. Once you've done that, you're going to take your highlighter, and I'm using the same palette, the Benefit Cheek Leaders palette, and I'm going to use the highlighter here and a nice fluffy brush. And I like to do my, actually before we do the highlighter, we're going to set all of our contouring with the bronzing powder. So I'm just going to go back into that same color that I contoured my nose with, and I'm just going to set everywhere that I have contoured my face. Now what we're going to do is we're going to highlight, and the trick with highlighting is, and I find like I see a lot of girls making this same mistake, is when they apply the highlighter, they've got this flat amount of, like this flat product on their cheekbones. So the thing with highlighter is you need to use it very lightly and build it up if you want more highlight. So start very light, and the places where you are going to put it is where the sun would like normally shine on the highest parts of your face. So you want it to look natural and glowy. You don't want it to look like a product has just been stuck on. So you're going to start very lightly. You can use a very fluffy brush. This is the Real Techniques setting brush, but I'm using it for highlighter. And that's also another thing with, you know, find the brushes that work for you to do what you want. If it says it's a foundation brush and you use it for blusher, that's also okay. I do that too. I like this brush because it's very, the bristles are very loose, so the application goes on very lightly. It's not very direct and hard and harsh on your face. I just started very gently on the highest point of my cheekbone. You can start building the product up, and then I go around to the highest point. That is my dog. That wasn't me, that is my dog. Highest point of your cheek, your eyebrow, above your eyebrow, on the top point of your nose, above your lips, and on your chin. And that's where your highlighter should go. And always tap off the product. And I'm gonna do the other side, and then I'm just gonna start building it up. What I like to do with the highlighter as well is I like to take a more defined or compact bristled brush, and then I like to take the highlight and just apply a very little on the very top part of my nose, just to give it a little bit more definition. Then just a little dot on the top.
I don't need to do that, eh?
Yes, you can.
Yours is more.
Yeah, but I've made it look like sharper, so you can do the same. Not with a big thing like that, because you're putting like product on your entire nose. It must be small and little in a little spot, little dot. Once you have done your highlighting, you can go into your blusher. And I like to do blusher last so that the highlighter shines through the blusher. I mean, it looks more natural and glowy. So I like doing my blusher last. I like to take not a very fluffy brush. I like this pointed one because it's more direct, and I like having my blusher in a very specific space. I find with people with rounder faces, you can use fluffier brushes, but when I want to have like a more defined, sharper,
Angular.
cheek or whatever, I use a pointier brush. Just apply it right underneath my highlighter and kind of blend it into my contour. Go in lightly and just build it up. Another trick with foundation, with blusher, is to apply it also a little bit on your chin, a little bit on your forehead. And normally what I do is I contour my eyes as well with bronzing powder. I haven't done it today because obviously I did my eyes, but what I normally do is I just brush it on top of my eyes. I take the blusher and I just apply the same color to the top of my eyes, because I just find it just unifies everything. It just makes everything come together.
So in my instance, what I put here.
So what you're going to do is, let me just do one. You take your contouring powder, your bronzing powder, and you are just going to contour your eyes in the crease so that it creates that defined shade, and you can actually bring the color right up your eye so that it
all blends together.
So it also blends and it just creates more of a cat eye. So just very lightly, you're going to do a windscreen marker motion on your eyes, and you just bring it up. It's very light, and also underneath your eyes. I've done a very quick, contour, but it's just going to pull everything in together. And then what I do is I take the same blusher brush, and then close your eyes, and then I just sweep it over the eyes. So now you can see everything is one. It all kind of looks like a natural kind of contour. Okay, so this was just a quick video that I wanted to do, and just kind of like an introduction with my sister and I, because I think maybe we'll do more videos in the future. What do you think? Let me know, DM me, tell me what you'd like to see next. If you think I should kick her out and not include her in my videos, please say so. If you learned something or didn't, let me know, and let me know what you would like to see next. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you real soon.